Hey, it's Bryan here. I've been on the Tijuana trip twice now, and for those of you who don't know, our church has been many times over the years. We just sort of took a break, but Baja Christian Ministries, the organization that still builds these houses, never stopped. And so I'm here to answer some questions, or preemptively sort of maybe answer some frequently asked questions that I can imagine are popping up in the minds of students, but maybe some parents too. So first, is it safe? In the history of Baja Christian Ministries, I think it's 25 or 30 years, they've never had any problems with any local residents or any of the local authorities. And so frankly, probably more of the worry on our part is going to be our behavior. And so you're going to have to probably sign a behavioral covenant about what we bring and how we act when we're down there, because a lot of these people don't have some of the things that we take for granted. So it's perfectly safe. And to put it in perspective for you, I know that in California there's at least one elementary school who sends children across the border to build houses with Baja Christian Ministries. So yes, it's safe. I'd be comfortable sending my son Cole, who's in 4th grade with me, when he's in middle school. So we're starting off just with high schoolers. I think it's a great way to do this. We'll probably see hundreds of students there in big buses down there building houses with us when we're there. So it's perfectly safe. In terms of who's going, I'm going, Justin's going, there's going to be several other adults, plus the men of the church are also going to make this their mission trip. So there should be plenty of adult supervision, and we can give you a list of exactly who's going probably tonight, or as adults sign up to go. So we have plenty of adult supervision. In terms of what we eat when we're there, we fly from here to San Diego. We get in a rental van, we go to Walmart, and it's the same Walmart every time. And we buy our supplies for breakfast and lunch. And so we get up every day, we do a little reflection time, sort of what we're thinking God's saying to us and what we've learned so far. We have breakfast together, we make our own bagged lunches, we take them to the job site, and then at night we go out to one of the little taco stands, because it's very inexpensive, and we get tacos, street tacos. Some of the best tacos, well, they are the best tacos I've ever had. So that's a fun thing that we get to do at night too. So the food's pretty straightforward. In terms of, this accommodations, it's pretty rustic. It's like going to a retreat center. We're going to be staying in one of two places. One is a former orphanage, so it's bunk-style beds like you'd go on a retreat with. There are bathrooms and showers and a kitchen. The other place that I stayed in last year was closer to the job site, and it's the same kind of format. 6 or 7 people to a room. I mean, you're stacked in bunks really tight, and the simple bathrooms and showers. It's not fancy. And so for those of you who've never gone to Europe and you've not had the experience of going to the bathroom and having to put the toilet paper beside the commode and not flush it, that's what you have to do in Tijuana. So there's that. In terms of just the general experience, is it safe on the job site? It is a job site, but a lot of the tasks that we have are pretty straightforward, and we'll just have to be selective as to who gets to work on the roof and who gets to use some of the power tools. There's always what they call a master craftsman from Baja Christian Ministries. They've built hundreds of these houses, and so we are actually going to show up on a job site with a concrete slab, and by the end of that first day, you'll see the framework up for this house. So it goes up very quickly, but we'll be supervised by someone with carpentry skills, plus some of the men that are going with me have done this before. None of the skills are really complicated in terms of that. In terms of what we build, it is a 2-bedroom house with a little living space and a loft. It's very small, a few hundred square feet, and then we typically build an outhouse because they don't have a lot of these places don't have the plumbing in place in these neighborhoods. So they build the same house every time. It's just a different color. So, Chris, did I forget anything? What are some of the other questions? Can you think of anything?
I think you pretty much covered it.
Well, if you've got any other questions, let me know. But I think the main things are about safety and accommodations and supervision. I've been on lots of retreats with youth before. I am more than comfortable that this is a great organization. And there's also an opportunity that we might get to do some what they call street evangelism, where you go around to the neighborhoods with their guides and you knock on doors and invite people to an impromptu little celebration at one of the local soccer fields or something. and we all have the opportunity to share our testimonies. They translate it. And so that's not mandatory, but it's something really cool to see, and that's one of the ways that they start churches. They go to a neighborhood, invite people to hear the gospel, and then they take names and information, and they try and start churches that way. So they've actually started churches as well. So it's a great organization. It's a great time. It'll change your perspective about what you have here. So I hope you'll prayerfully consider going if you're a high school student, and parents, if you have any questions, feel free to ask me later. God bless.